So many of you may have seen Jack's recent webinars where he showed off his latest website. This is all built with local theme Jack drag and drop. What you may have noticed or may not have noticed are the sticky feet. These are footers and they stick to the bottom of the screen. So no matter what page you go to, the sticky feet are here, so the footers are always available and the visitor can always click on any of these links. So now we're going to go and see how to build sticky feet. So we log into our dashboard, and I know that there have been a number of updates to the theme and they are not showing up along here, so I know that that means that the theme needs to be updated, and this little button here is also telling me that there are updates. So we're going to come down and click on Appearance and across to Themes, and there is indeed an update for Local Theme Jack, and just click on Update Now. And if you come to your site to do some work and you don't check to see if there's an update, you could be missing out on some awesome new tools. So it's a good idea to always check. Theme is updated. So now we're going to go up to Pages and Add New. Use Jack Page Builder, and I think I will come down and see if I have a home page that I could import. Let's try this one, and let's click on Publish, and let's take a peek and see what I imported. Bookkeeping, okay. So first of all, if you want to create a duplicate of a page and do your testing with that page, you come to the page that you want to clone or duplicate, come down to the bottom and click on Export Page. Page is exported successfully. So now we go back to All Pages. Let's add new, give it a name, Jack Page Builder, and come down Import Page. And I already had 2 and 2 1, so this one must be Home 2.2. And click on OK if you want to replace the header and footer of imported page with current site header and footer. Okay, so I will publish and preview. Okay, so it is a duplicate of the original home page. So let's go back now and edit the page. So to add the sticky feet, I'm going to add a section. Okay, and the sticky feet part comes into the setting in the section, and the section setting is this yellow left sidebar. And we click on the gear, background color, and here is the setting for the sticky feet. It reads fixed on bottom, stick to footer. And you can set minimum height, padding, etc. I'm going to leave things just as they are, and we'll save. And then I'm going to add columns. You can make as many buttons as you wish. If you want just one button, I could make the button run the full width. So button. We'll make this sort of an urgent thing. And then button hover background color. Okay, and I don't have a page for tax time. If you're going to link the button to a specific page, you need to have that set up prior to doing this. You can link to a different site altogether. You can link to a section, say you've got a blog post about tax time and a specific tax accountant to connect with. You can link to that. All right, well, yeah, we can link to tax planning and preparation. So I prefer that pages open in a new tab, so when somebody is finished, if they just sort of out of habit close the tab, it doesn't then close the site. And you can add the border radius. The larger the number, the more rounded the corners. So we'll start with 5, and let's make this 50 pixels wide, 24 text font, subtext font, 28 text font size, and 24 subtext font size. The button text color would be white. Button orientation, I would like it to be centered. Bold italic. The padding here refers to inside the button between the text and the edge of the button. And the margin is outside of the button between the button and whatever is above or below. And whatever numbers you set, you can come back and change them. So let's save, update, and preview changes. So there is the button. And given the size of the text, I would probably make the button 60 pixels wide instead of 50. So let's go back and see what that does. 60, and see if that is sufficient. Update. Depends on what you want it to look like, what you want it to do. And then when you click on it, opened in a new tab, takes to tax planning and preparation. And you could have a specific accountant's name, what they would do for you, etc. So you want to match the button type to whatever you want people to know about. I'm going to add a new page, use Jack Page Builder, and I'm not going to do anything else with this but add a section. Okay, and click on the section setting, come down, click on the fixed on bottom, sticky feet, and save. Okay, and come here and add a column. Now you can do, say you want to do 4 buttons or 3 buttons. Let's do 3 buttons. Add a module, button, and module name, button, and you can appointment, bottom line, click to call, no, button background color. Now you can also use specific HTML code. Okay, button hover, select page. Okay, contact us. If I was going to be setting up a book your appointment, I would want to have a page set up with the appropriate appointment booking option. It's up to you whether you open it in the same window or in a new tab. Border radius, I'll do 10 this time. Okay, no subtext. Button text color, white is good. And button orientation is to the left. Okay, and I will leave the padding in the margins and save. And let's just take a look to see if we're on the right track. Okay, and preview changes. Okay, so that's probably not a good color for a sticky foot, and 30 pixels or 40 pixels wide is definitely not wide enough. If I need to know how wide something is, I'll usually just take a screen capture, then take a look at the details. So this is, yeah, about 290 wide. So let's go back to edit the page, and we need to change the button color. No wider than 100. Okay, so the button is 100 pixels wide. So the font size may still be too big. Update, preview changes. Okay, so that works. So another button, click to call button. You can make it a click to call button, and that will put your phone number in there. Button background color. If you want to make it the same color as the first button, then the thing to do would be to copy the HTML code and make them the same. Or if you want them to stand out and be different, you can do that too. So you can also just kind of drag this little thing, this little circle around, and see what you like, and or use, there's my little pixie. I've mentioned pixie a few times in videos, and it's just a little wee thing that sits on your desktop, and any color that you hover over, it will display 5 or 6 different color codes, and the one you want is the one in the middle. It's HTML. So this green is 35B C1E. So if I wanted to replicate that on other buttons, I would want to copy that color code down. And same for the purple. So any place you run your mouse that has color in it, Pixie will pick it up for you. And when you're finished with it, just close it out. It's really, really handy. So this doesn't need to be linked to any page. It doesn't need to open in any window because it's a click to call button. Now width will be 100. Text font size, I think I did 28. So it would be a good idea to write these things down beforehand. Button color. This button is in the center, bold and italic. I'm going to leave the padding, etc. And save and update. Preview changes. Okay, and see what happens. I didn't put a border radius, so now the corners are square. I like them rounded better. And I didn't set the lower font size, so it's quite small. So these are things to make note of and adjustments for. And then we'll add one more button, and this is an accounting site. Let's see, what else would I want them to see? Where to find us. Click to call, no. Button background color. I want them to go to contact us, open in a new tab, border radius 10, width 100, text style bold and italic, save, update. Now somebody contacted me today saying, I keep making these changes, and when I preview it looks great, and then when I go and look at the page, the changes aren't there. It's back to where it was before. And it was because he was saving the settings, not updating here. So you have to do both. Save and update. And then preview changes. Okay, so see what happens when, see, this was written out as one line, but it's long enough that it went to 2 lines. I set this as 2 lines, and then this was written out as 1 line, hoping it would split to 2 lines, and it didn't. You may want to plan this out too. How do you want this to look? Do you want it to be all on 1 line or 2 lines or what? And here is with a 10 pixel border radius, and I think this was with a 5 pixel, and this is with no pixels border radius. Okay, I wanted to show you one additional thing here. If you decided you wanted to add margins, remember I said padding is inside the button, it's between the edge of the button and the text that's inside, and a margin is on the outside of the button. So I tried out, I added a bottom margin. So I'll add 20 pixels. Again, arbitrary number. Click on Save, Update, and Preview Changes. And here's what adding a bottom margin to the button did. Button still stays on the bottom, but there is a space between the button itself and the bottom of the site. So if you think that would be of use, there's another option. So that about wraps up making sticky feet.